Hello everyone, I am Anusha. Today I am going to explain you about the introduction of Java. First of all, what is a Java? Java is a programming language. So as I'm saying that it is a programming language, so we have to know the difference between the spoken languages and then programming languages. So if a person wants to communicate one with another, so we want this spoken language. The language might be anything. Okay, so they want one language to communicate. In the same way, if a person wants to communicate with the system, so we want one source of language. Okay, that is nothing but a programming language over here. So if it is in between person to person, in the sense we are calling it as a spoken language. Okay, so if it is a person and then system, in the sense we are calling it as a programming language. So what does this programming language consist of in the sense? So this language is consisting of set of instructions. So which is used to establish the communication between a human and a system. So whatever the programming language we are using, so it will be consisting of some set of language, set of instructions, and those set of instructions are used to establish the connection between human and the system. Okay. So here we are saying that Java is such a type of programming language. Coming across with this Java's lineage, apart from Java, we are having so many types of programming languages. Okay? So earlier, we are having the programming languages like COBOL, Pascal, etc. So from that, so it has been developed to procedural-oriented language called C language. And later on, they have been included that some object-oriented instructions to this procedural oriented, and then they have enhanced this C language to C++ language. But so this C++ language is a platform dependent one. So where we can run that program in a particular platform only. So later again, to overcome the disadvantages of this C++ language, so it has been introduced with the Java language, where it is an object-oriented language and also platform-independent one. So that means we can run or we can execute our Java program in any platform. Why? Because our programming language will be converted into the bytecodes, and that bytecodes execution will be done either in the Windows OS or else in the Linux or else in the Mac OS. The operating system might be anything. That means platform might be anything. We can execute our Java language program. So that's why we are calling this as a platform independent one. Next, so if we want to study this Java, so we want to know mainly the four concepts that are existing in this object-oriented programming. That is abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and then polymorphism. Coming across with abstraction. So abstraction, in the sense, we are just trying to hide the unnecessary things, and we are specifying or else we are trying to show the necessary things. That means which are irrelevant to our representation, we are trying to hide that one, and whatever the things that are necessary for the presentation, we are going to represent that one. So that is nothing but an abstraction. In technical way, we can say that abstraction means using the simple things to represent the complexity. So to avoid the complexity, so we are making use of some simple things. For example, we all know how to turn on the TV, right? But we don't need to know how it works in order to enjoy it. In Java, abstraction means simple things like objects, classes, and variables. So these will represent more complex underlying code and data. So this is important because let's avoid repeating the same work multiple times. So for that purpose, we are using this abstraction. The abstraction, in the sense, hiding the irrelevant data and specifying only the necessary data. Next, coming with encapsulation. So encapsulation is nothing but you can say the wrapping up of all the data. That means we are trying to gather all the data which is belonging to a related group. Okay, so this is the practice of keeping fields within a class private. So then providing access to them through public methods. So here it is a protective barrier that keeps the data and code safe within the class itself only. So this way we can reuse objects like code, components or else variables without allowing open access to the data system wide. So that is nothing but encapsulation. Next, coming with inheritance. So inheritance is a special, we can say this is a special feature of object-oriented programming in Java. So it lets programmers to create new classes that share some of the attributes of existing classes. Okay, that means one class can able to share its properties to the next class, another class. So that is nothing but inheritance. So that's why we are calling it as a special feature of this object-oriented program. So this lets us build on some previous work without reinventing the wheel. It means it is mainly meant for reusability over here. So that is nothing but inheritance. Next one is polymorphism. So this Java concept lets programmers use the same word to mean different things in different contexts. Okay, so that's why we are making use of a form called polymorphism in Java. So which is nothing but method overloading. So that's when different meanings are implied by the code itself in the sense, then we are calling it as a method overriding. So first of all, polymorphism in the sense multiple ways. For example, if you take a girl, okay, so she'll be acting like a student in the college and she'll be acting like a daughter at home. That means the same girl is playing the multiple roles, right? So in the same way, whatever the objects and we are using in this Java, so the same method, that means here we are intended to represent the same names for the different purposes. So that's why we are terming it as like a method overloading and method overriding. So which we will be discussing in the next videos. So this is about the very important concepts that we want to know about these things in Java. Okay. Next, bytecode. So what is this bytecode in this sense? As I already told you that Java is a platform independent one. So how we are saying that it is a platform independent? See, this is the source program. So whatever the program we are writing, that means whatever the set of instructions we are writing in the Java programming language. So here that will be called as a source code over here. So once after finishing the writing of a program in Java, we are intended to compile it, right? So here we are trying to compile this source code. So after completion of this compilation, the source code is converted into the bytecodes over here. Okay, so here the bytecode is nothing but a combination of object code and then assembly code. So after converting it into the bytecode, now we want to execute that. For execution, so here in Java, we are having one environment called Java Virtual Machine, where this JVM is responsible to execute our program. So if you want to execute our Java programming, this is definitely we want such a type of environment called Java Virtual Machine. So where this Java Virtual Machine is held responsible for executing our program. For executing this bytecode, see here, if you observe whatever the bytecode I'm having, so this bytecode can be either executed in Windows or else either executed in Linux or else either executed in Mac OS. Okay, so that means after doing the compilation process, this source code is converted into the bytecode where we can run this bytecode anywhere. So it is not very particular to run this program only in Windows or else only in Linux or else only in Mac. Okay, so we can able to execute our program anywhere we want. So that's why we are saying that so Java is acting as a platform independent one. Why? Because so our code is directly converted into the bytecode, and now that bytecode is it is giving an option to run that bytecode anywhere. So that means any platform we want. So this is with the bytecode. That means we will be saving our file, our source code with the .java file. After doing the compilation, the compiler is going to treat it like a .class file. Why? Because this bytecode is nothing but a combination of object code and assembly code. No? So it will be treated like a .class file. Afterwards, we can run our bytecode in any platform which we want. Then it is converted into the machine code over here. So firstly, we will be having the source code. Afterwards, it is converted into the bytecode. And during the execution time, it is converted into the machine code over here. So this is about the bytecode representation. Next, coming across with the Java buzzwords. See, whenever we are making use of this Java programming language, so we want to know why we are specifically using this Java programming language and why we are not choosing the other programming language. So for specifying that one, so these are the list of buzzwords so that we want to know. That is, so Java is simple, it is a secure one, portable one, object-oriented, robust, multi-threaded. Along with this one, again we are having architectural neutral, interpreted, high performance, distributed, and then dynamic. So first, what is simple? See, Java programming language is very simple and easy to learn. So and understand and how we can write the code. So most of the syntaxes in Java follow basic programming language called C and object-oriented programming concepts, which are similar to C++. In Java programming language, many complicated features like pointers, operator overloading, structures, unions, etc. have been removed. So one of the most useful feature is this garbage collector, so which it makes Java more simple. So that's why we are saying this Java as a simple one. Okay, next, secure. So as Java is said to be a more secure programming language because it does not have pointers concept. So it is just going to provide a feature called applet, which can be embedded into a web application. So here the applet in Java does not allow access to other parts of the computer, which keeps away from harmful programs like a virus and then some unauthorized access. So based on this, we can say that this is a secure one. Next one is portable. Portability is one of the core features of Java, which enables the Java program to run on any computer or any operating system. For example, an applet developed using Java runs on a wide variety of CPUs, operating systems, and browsers, which is connected to the internet. So that's why we are saying the Java is a portable one. Next one is object-oriented. So we are saying this Java is a purely object-oriented programming language. So which is everything represented in the form of objects. It supports all the features of object-oriented programming paradigm. The primitive data types Java also implemented as objects using wrapper classes, but still it allows the primitive types of to achieve high performance over here. So that's why we are saying that Java is an object oriented. Next, robust. Robust in the sense, so Java is more robust because the Java code can be executed on a variety of environments. Java has a strong memory management mechanism that is nothing but garbage collector. So where it is strictly typed language, which has a strong set of exception handling mechanism, and also the type checking. So that's why we are saying it as a very robust one. Next one is multi-threaded. So multi-threaded in the sense, it is going to support this multi-threading programming, which allows us to write programs so that do multiple operations simultaneously. So here we are doing the multiple operations simultaneously in this multi-thread. Okay, this is one of the feature of Java. Next, architectural neutral, or else we can say it as a platform independent one. Okay, so as I told you that we are saying the thing like write once and run anywhere, anytime, forever. Okay, so we are not having any particular constraints to run our program. Okay, so we are just writing it for once and we are running it anytime, anywhere, and forever. Okay, that's why we are saying it as a platform independent one. Next one is interpreted. So here interpreted, that means, so Java enables the creation of cross-platform programs by compiling into an intermediate representation called Java bytecode. Okay, so this bytecode is interpreted to any machine code so that it runs on the native machine. So that's why we are saying it as an interpreter. Next, a high performance. So Java provides very high performance with the help of features like JVM, interpretation, and its simplicity. Okay, we are having its environments for giving the high performance over here. Next, distributed. See, Java programming language supports the TCP/IP protocols, which enable the Java to support the distributed environment of the internet. And Java also supports a remote method invocation. So this feature enables a program to invoke methods across the network. So this RMI is going to enable the program to invoke methods across the network. Next one is dynamic. So in this dynamic, we are saying the Java as a dynamic because the Java bytecode may be dynamically updated on a running system, and it has a dynamic memory allocation and deallocation also. Okay, so dynamically we can allocate the memory and also we can deallocate the memory also. So that's why we are saying this as a dynamic one. So these are the buzzwords we have to know whenever we are making use of this Java programming language. Okay, so we can say these are all acting like an advantages or else some special features of our Java to use. So in the next video, we are going to discuss what is a class and what is an object and how we are writing a program in a Java. Thank you.